Welcome to this short presentation about Kent Ancestry. This is about a man named Degory Priest who came over as a passenger on the Mayflower in 1620. In the late 15 and early 1600s, King James of England was forming his method of having the Church of England. People called separatists didn't like what he was doing, so they left and moved to Holland. While in Holland, after a few years, they heard about Jamestown in Virginia, and they decided they wanted to go there. So they gathered what they needed to do and boarded a ship called the Speedwell. The Speedwell went to southern England to the port of Plymouth. There, more people joined them, and a second ship called the Mayflower. After two attempts going out to the ocean, the Speedwell took on water and could not handle the ocean adventure. Back in Plymouth, England, some people stayed, and many others crammed into the Mayflower and took off on the voyage. Approaching North America, they ran into some storms and got lost. They ended up at the Isthmus of Cape Cod, an extension of what is today Massachusetts. And surrounding the Isthmus and Massachusetts was the Cape Cod Bay. Eventually the folks got the Mayflower near enough to the Massachusetts mainland that they set up a colony, and they called it Plymouth. However, during the winter, many of them passed away for various reasons. Our ancestor, Degory Priest, was one of those also. This next slide is a replica of the ship Mayflower. It was made from some information they had, and many shipbuilders in England built the ship. Well, Degory Priest, born in England, went to Holland. He married Sarah Allerton. They had two children. He left them and boarded the ships, and eventually getting on the Mayflower and coming to the colonies. After he passed away, several years, his wife and the two girls came to Plymouth Colony. One of those girls, the youngest, Sarah Priest, married John Coombs. They had several children. One of those children was Deborah Hannah Coombs. Deborah married Joseph Gannett. Still in the Plymouth Colony, Deborah and Joseph had several children. One of those was Hannah Gannett. Hannah Gannett married Ebenezer Kent. Ebenezer Kent was a son of John Kent. John Kent was the original Kent immigrant to the colonies in 1645. He had a brother here who went back to England and then brought John and another brother to the colonies. Isaac Kent, a son of Hannah and Ebenezer, eventually moved from Plymouth to northwestern Massachusetts. There he had several children and a few wives. Rachel became the wife of Isaac Kent Jr. Isaac also had a few wives, and Sarah was the mother of Asia Kent. Asia Kent grew up in Massachusetts but moved north into Vermont, where he was part of a group who settled and created a new town in Vermont. He had several wives, of which one was Polly Abel, and they had a son named Charles H. Kent. That picture of Asa was a daguerreotype I got from a granddaughter of his. Charles H. Kent lived in Vermont, but somehow or another, we don't know how or why, ended up in Davenport, Iowa, and was a big housing person in that territory. He had 2 kids with his wife, and Charles F. Kent was born and raised in Davenport, Iowa. He became a druggist and married Elizabeth Anderson and moved to DeWitt, where he ran a drugstore for many, many years. They had these 6 children. These 6 children and descendants of Charles Kent all can claim the path back to the Mayflower ancestor. Thank you for watching.